Good morning children. Class 10 English. This is supplementary reader. The name of the textbook is Food Treats Without Feet. In this lesson number 1, Triumph of Surgery. This is a lesson about a dog. It is written by James Herriot. James Herriot is a veterinary doctor by profession and he has written many stories on dog. This is one story about a dog who is very much pampered by his owner, his mistress, and that puts him in a lot of trouble. That is, he falls sick by his over pampering. So how the doctor treats him, how the doctor treats the dog, and what happens, let us see in this lesson. A triumph of surgery. Triumph is victory. Triumph is victory. Surgery is generally known as operation, but in this lesson it is surgery means a cleaning. Here it is cleaning. Whose cleaning it is? Veterinary doctor, so it is animals cleaning. Triumph is victory. Let us see the lesson. Tricky is the name of a dog. Tricky, a small dog, is pampered and overfed by his rich mistress. He falls seriously ill and his mistress consults a veterinary surgeon. Who is a veterinary surgeon here? James Herriot. I was really worried about Tricky this time. Who is Tricky? The name of a dog. Tricky is a dog. I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress and I was shocked at his appearance. He had become hugely fat, like a bloated sausage with a leg at each corner. His eyes, bloodshot and gloomy, stayed straight ahead and his tongue lolled from his jaws. Bloated sausage means sausage is finely minced meat, two legs at end. It was like a bloated. Who was like that? The dog. What is the name of the dog? Tricky. Tricky was very fat. He has become hugely fat by overeating. Who has fed him? His rich mistress. The owner of the dog, mistress, was very rich and she has overfed him. She has pampered him a lot and he has become very fat. And his eyes were bloodshot, gloomy. Gloomy means watery discharge from eyes or nose. And his tongue lolled out. His tongue was outside. Mrs. Pumpary. Mrs. Pumpary is the name of the mistress, the owner of the dog. What is the name of the dog? Tricky. Mrs. Pumpary hastened to explain he was so listless. Listless means no enthusiasm, no interest in anything. He has become very lazy. So she thought, Mrs. Pumpary hastened to explain he was so listless, Mr. Herriot. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition. Malnutrition means he is not getting proper enough nutritious food. So she thought he is suffering from malnutrition and she gave him some food in between meals. So I have been giving him some little extras between meals to build him up. Some malt, cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night. So she was giving the dog all this extra food in between the meals. So the reason he has put on a lot of weight. He has become hugely fat. And then the doctor asks, what's the name of the doctor? James Herriot. The doctor asks, and did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you? Doctor had advised him not to give sweets, not to give him sweets. Then he asked, did you cut down the sweets as I had asked you to do? Oh, I did for a bit, but it seemed so big, then I had to relent. Relent means give it. And again, she started giving. She agreed not to give. She decided not to give him extra food, sweets, creams, creamy cake, biscuits, etc. But she had to relent again to give away. He does love cream cakes and chocolates, so I can't bear to refuse him. Dog loves cream, biscuits, whatever you give. He used to eat. He was a greedy. He liked all this food. And As a result, he had put on lot of weight. He looked down again at the little dog. That was the trouble. Doctor said that was the trouble. Ricky's only fault was greed. He was a greedy dog. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night. And I wondered about all these things Mrs. Pumpari had not mentioned. She had not mentioned. In between she gave few things she mentioned. And the doctor said that is the reason, that is the trouble. He had put on a lot of weight. Are you giving him plenty of exercise? Only diet is not sufficient. Along with diet, you need to have proper exercise. Are you giving him sufficient exercise? Well, he has little walks with me, as you can see, but not him. There was a gardener there. The gardener has been down with lumbago. Lumbago means a muscle pain. He used to take the dog earlier for a walk. Now, since he is not well, he himself was not well, so the exercise stopped. So there has been no ring throwing day. So after that he is going only for a walk with his mistress, Mrs. Pumpari. I tried to sound severe. Now I really mean this. If you don't cut his food right down and give him more exercise, he is going to be really ill. Who said this? The doctor. The doctor said to whom? To Mrs. Pumpari. He said if you don't cut down his diet and give him more exercise, he is really going to fall ill. Who is going to fall ill? The dog. What was the name of the dog? Tricky. Tricky is going to fall ill. How? If you don't cut down his diet and give him plenty of exercise. Mrs. Pumpari rubbed her hands. She just rubbed her hands and said, oh, I will, Mr. Harriot. I am sure you are right. But it is so difficult. Very difficult. What is difficult? To cut down the diet and give him more exercise is very difficult. Is it difficult? No. If you decide, it's not difficult. I watched their progress with growing concern. Ricky was tottering along with his little tweed coat. He had a whole wardrobe of these coats for the cold weather and a raincoat for the wet weather. He struggled on drooping in his harness. I thought it wouldn't be long before I hear from Mrs. Pumpari. Then the doctor looked at the dog. He was trotting, moving here and there with his coat. Tweed coat means a woolen coat, a kind of cloth which is used for stitching suits and all. He was wearing that. He had so many that type of coats, each one for a different weather. For hot weather, different coat. For cold weather, different coat. Raincoat for a rainy day. So he had a lot of such type of coats in his wardrobe. His mistress was very rich, so these things are not difficult for him. Then the doctor was expecting a call from Mrs. Pumpari. What was the call? That the dog is not keeping well because he was over pampered. The expected call came within few days. Mrs. Pumpari was distraught. She was worried. She was worried about the dog. Tricky would eat nothing, refused even his favorite dishes, and besides, he had bouts of vomiting. He was vomiting also. So the dog is not well. What will happen? If you eat more, you will have vomitings. He spent all this time lying on a rug, panting, didn't want to do walks, didn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to go out for the walk. He doesn't want to do any exercise. He's not eating. He's just lying on a blanket. Why this has happened? Because he has fallen ill now. I had made many plans in advance. The only way was get Ricky out of the house for a period. I suggested that he needs to be hospitalized for about a fortnight and to be kept under observation. The doctor was expecting a call from Mrs. Pumpari, and the expected call came. He had already planned. The only way to treat Ricky was to bring him out of the house for some time, at least for a fortnight. Then he told Mrs. Pumpari that your dog needs to be hospitalized and kept under observation at least for a fortnight. The poor lady almost fainted. Almost fainted. She could not bear such a news. She was sure he would pine and die if he did not see her every day. Who would die? The dog. If he could not see Mrs. Pumpkin every day. But I took a firm line. Tricky was very ill and this is the only way to save him. This the doctor said Tricky was very ill and this is the only way to could save him. So he should be away from the house for how many days? For a fortnight. Fortnight means 2 weeks. The entire staff was roused and maids rushed in and out bringing his day bed, his night bed, favorite cushions, toys, rubber rings, breakfast bowl, lunch bowl, supper bowl. Realizing that my car would never hold all the stuff, I started to drive away. As I moved off, Mrs. Pumpkin with a despairing cry threw an armful of little coats through the window. I looked in the mirror before I turned the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears. We were all in tears. The servant maids in the house, Mrs. Pumpkin, and when it was decided that the dog to be shifted to the hospital, to the clinic, then they started arranging all these things. What were they? A bowl, separate bowl for breakfast, lunch and supper. It is dinner. Different types of clothes, night bed, day bed, all so many things. And the doctor's car couldn't carry all these things. They said the car couldn't hold all these things. So he started driving. And Mrs. Pumpkin was in tears. The all people there, the servant maids, everybody was in sad mood. They were all crying. And when they were about to leave, Mrs. Pumpkin threw few coats through the window in doctor's car. And the dog was driven away from there and out on the road. I glanced down at the pathetic little animal gasping on the seat by my side. I patted the head and Tricky made a brave effort to wag his tail. Poor old man, I said. You haven't Tricky killed you, but I think I know a cure for you. The dog just with great effort it wagged its tail. The dog was in front seat beside the doctor in his car. And then the doctor said, I know how to cure you. He was not really that serious. He had only overpampered, he had overeaten. So the doctor knew how to cure this dog. At the surgery, what is surgery? Clinic. The household dog surged around me. Tricky looked down at the noisy pack with dull eyes. When put down, lay motionless at the carpet. The other dogs, after sniffing around him for a few seconds, decided he was an uninteresting object and ignored him. There were other dogs at the clinic. When this dog was brought there, which dog? Tricky. Tricky was brought there. Other dogs and surrounded him for some time. And Tricky had no interest. He was just sitting there motionless. So other dogs thought he is an uninteresting object and they left. I made up a bed for him in a warm, loose box next to the other, where the other dogs slept. For 2 days, I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. For 2 days, Tricky had no food, but plenty of water. At the end of the second day, he started to show some interest in his surroundings, and on the third day, he began to whimper when he heard the other dogs in the yard. So, when he saw the other dogs, he showed some positive signs on the third day. Second day evening, he gave him some little food. He started showing some interest there. When I opened the door, Tricky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe, the greyhound, and his friend. Then, when Tricky came out and he trotted out, he was surrounded by so many other dogs. It was a clinic, so there were many other dogs. He was engulfed by greyhound. Is a kind of a breed of dog. After rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him, the dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. So other dogs went to the garden. Tricky also followed them, and he was doing what the other dogs were doing, rolling on the ground, playing, running, and he had little surplus fat, means extra fat. Who had that? Tricky. Later that day, I was present at feeding time. I watched while Tristan is an assistant there who feeds the dogs or who take care of other dogs there. slop the food into the bowls. Slop means pour food into the bowls for all the dogs. There was the usual headlong rush followed by the sounds of high-speed eating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competitions for the last part of his meal. Everybody, the balls were kept there, all the dogs started running. Ricky also followed. Every dog knew that if they don't eat that time, then they don't get again. So every dog were running and Ricky also followed. So they were all very happy there. When they had finished, Ricky took a walk around the shining bowls, licking casually inside one or two of them. Next day an extra bowl was put out for him and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. So next day an extra bowl was also kept for Ricky. Previous day it was not kept, so he started licking the other bowls. So extra bowl was kept for him and he had that food he enjoyed. From then on his progress was rapid. Now he realized earlier in the house what used to happen. Mrs. Pumpkin used to give him something or the other continuously and used to grab, eat and lay down on the rug. He had no exercise. Here he had to run. He has to mix with other dogs. He used to play there. So there was some progress in the dog. He had no medicinal treatment of any kind, but all the day he ran about with dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. Scrimmages means they have some struggle. They used to play there and also he had some enjoyment there. He ran with the other dogs. He used to run with them. He used to roll down on the garden, grass. He used to play there. So he had plenty of exercise along with other dogs. In the house what happened? He was all alone and he used to eat, enjoy his food, enjoy his diet there, no exercise. That is the reason he had fallen ill and he was brought to the pet's clinic. All the while Mrs. Pumpkin hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen of times for the latest bulletins. Very often Mrs. Pumpkin, the dog's mistress, Ricky's mistress, owner, used to call up the doctor and ask about the bulletins, means latest news, what is the improvement. I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly, his correct coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow uses was out of danger and convincing. He is improving, he is recovering. She used to ask, is he wearing all the coats according to the weather? That is, if it is raining, raincoat. If it is cold, is he wearing that woolen coat? His beds are being changed regularly or not? The doctor only replied that he was out of danger and he is recovering. He is improving. There is improvement in his health. Did he get any medicine there? No. No medicine. Proper diet and plenty of exercise. The word conversing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumpkin. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozen at a time, to build up Ricky's strength. She thought Ricky is becoming weak. There is some improvement. Then she started sending 2 dozens of round eggs every day. For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. So Mrs. Pumpkin used to send 2 dozens of eggs every day. And who used to eat that? The people there, because dog did not require that much of food. He was happy with the diet that was served to him in the clinic. That was sufficient, more than sufficient. So all these eggs, then she started sending bottles of wine also. That was also given to the people there. Even the doctor had 2 eggs at the breakfast. It was to enrich Ricky's blood. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine beforehand, several during the meal. For whom? For all the staff in the clinic. They used to have nice 2 eggs for breakfast and the wine before lunch. In between lunch, they used to take. And from where they used to get this wine and eggs? Mrs. Pumpkin used to send. For whom? for the dog. We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Ricky's constitution. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around in hell and reverently drunk. So then she started sending even brandy, extra eggs, then bottles of wine, then bottles of brandy. There were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine, and finishing luxuriously round the fire with the brandy. Who enjoyed all this? The staff at the clinic. Morning eggs, afternoon wine, and night brandy. It was a temptation to keep Ricky on a permanent desk, but I knew Mrs. Company was suffering, and after a fortnight, felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting reconnection. So the doctor thought it was tempting for them to keep Ricky permanently there as a permanent guest. Why? Because they are getting eggs, wine, brandy, the stuff Mrs. Pampar used to send for the dog, and that was eaten by the staff there. So it was tempting to keep Ricky as a permanent guest there, but he was compelled to inform Mrs. Pampari that the dog is completely recovered and awaiting for collection. Within minutes, Mrs. Pampari was also missing her dog. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal blew up outside the surgery. Within minutes, a black car came. Metal means a black car. A huge black car came at the clinic. The chauffeur opened the door, and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pampari, almost lost in the interior. Her hands were lightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriot, do tell me the truth. Is he better?" She was worried. The big car came. All this shows that Mrs. Pampari was a very rich lady, and she was very fond of her pet, Tricky. "Yes, he is fine. There is no need for you to get out of the car. I will go and fetch him." Who said this? The doctor. The doctor told her, "You need not get down. Be there. I'll get the dog." I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was circling around, round and round the lawn, and in their midst, ears flapping, tail waving, was the little golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a flexible dog, hard muscle animal. He was within fortnight. Within 2 weeks, he had completely changed. Earlier, how he was? Hugely flat, like a bloated sausage. Now he had become very flexible. He was keeping up with the pack, stretching out in the great rounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. He was enjoying it. He was playing there. He was with like other dogs in that pack. Pack means a group of dogs. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car, door open, when Ricky saw his mistress. He too was very happy. "Mistress," he took off from my arms in a tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pampari's lap. When the dog saw his mistress, his owner, Mrs. Pampari, sitting in the car, he immediately took a leap and jumped onto her lap. He was very happy to see the mistress, and Mrs. Pampari was also very happy to see the dog. She gave a startled "oh" and then had to defend herself as he swam over her, licking her face and barking. What does this sign show? That he was very happy. He started licking Mrs. Pampari's face in happiness. He was very happy to see his mistress. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushion, coats and balls, none of which had been used. He was treated there as a normal dog along with other dogs. His beds, his cushions, his toys, his plates, lunch bowl, breakfast all separate, nothing was used there. None of which had been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pampari leaned out of the window, tears shone in her eyes, her lips trembled. She was worried about the dog, and she was very happy to see the dog safe. She was very happy, and she leaned out of the window, and what she told the doctor, who was the doctor? Mr. James Herriot. Oh, Mr. Herriot, she cried. How can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery. What is triumph? A victory. This is a victory of surgery. What is surgery? An operation. But here, was the operation done? Was anything done to the dog? Was any medicine, any tablet given to the dog? No. He was treated with proper exercise, proper diet, along with other dogs. He enjoyed the company of other dogs and he was completely alright. Mrs. Nopari thought a surgery had been done or some kind of treatment was given to him, medicinal treatment. So she was very happy that the dog had completely recovered and she said it is the triumph of surgery. This is the story about the dog. Hope you like the dog. What do you learn from this? One thing is you should never over pamper the dog or any pet for that matter. Good diet is important. Along with the diet, exercise is also important. So both should go hand in hand. Diet as well as the exercise. Why? To keep fit. The same thing is applicable even to the children. You have a heavy breakfast, you have a heavy lunch, in between you start taking snacks, you will put on a lot of weight and then you will fall sick. That is what had happened to Ricky. Now as a homework, you have to write the summary of the lesson in your own words and meanings are given in page number 6. Write all the glossary words. Thank you. As a homework, you read, there are so many stories written by James Herriot about dogs. Read those stories. Or there is another story, a tiger comes to the town by R.K. Narayan. Read it. Thank you.